Hey everyone, let's take a look at the new winter transfers pack on eFootball. It's a regular coin highlight pack. They don't do many of these, but they've just released this one. Got 8 players in it. You can clear the pack as far as I'm aware. So yeah, we've got 8 players in here. 100 coins a spin. As always, if you want to have a particular player, I'll put timestamps in the description. So just click the description, there'll be a link to take you straight to each player. And let's get cracking. Let's start with Niclas Füllkrug. So Füllkrug on loan at AC Milan from West Ham. Got a face scan. He's a target man. He's always been a target man, apart from a Fox in the Box player of the week card that he had recently. This is about as good as any previous one, to be honest. Done a few highlights as well as that player of the week card. He actually had a new transfers card with the same kind of design when he joined West Ham as well as this one. But yeah, he's around about the same level as the best previous ones. Around about the same level as Fox in the Box overall, the player of the week card, albeit obviously with different playing style. He's had a pretty mixed boost. And skill-wise, I've had a couple of skills. So before we get to the stats, long-range curler is new because obviously he's been scoring a lot of long-range curlers for AC Milan. And fighting spirit. So yeah, a couple of new ones, some nice skills thrown into the mix. First-time shot, you got heading, aerial, and acrobatic. He is a target man. We'll see how good a target man he is. He's a super sub as well. So yeah, good selection of skills on him. But yeah, let's jump over to the hub and then we'll look in a bit more detail at how good he actually is. And one thing to note on eFootball Hub, they've not got the levels, so you have to type those in. It's 35 for Füllkrug. So yeah, looking interesting. Like I say, it's about as good as we've had previously. So it's a good version of Füllkrug. Certainly the awareness and the finishing are fantastic. Heading's looking good. Kicking power, physically quite strong, but this is the thing with the target man. If he's a target man, you know what you want it to be good at. You want it to be good in the air. You want it to win all the headers. 6'2", 6'3", 82 jumping, vertical reach is what, 272. It's not amazing. So is he gonna be good in the air? Yeah, pretty good. Is he gonna be absolutely dominant in the air? No, not with auto allocation. So he's not looking that amazing to me so far. But we'll shuffle some points around and see how good we can make him. Just in terms of the way they're boosting from his GP card, before I forget that, it's a pretty mixed boost. Passing and speed among the highest boosts he's had. They put 3 on his heading. They seem to be nerfing heading and jumping on most cards these days, but this is not one of those. They've actually boosted his heading by a few points. They put 5 points on his jumping as well. So that jumping is actually better than it normally is. It's still not what I'd want it to be, but they have put a few points on there. So yeah, on all things considered, this is looking like a pretty good version of Füllkrug. But yeah, like I say, as a target man, you want him to be dominant in the air, and he's not looking dominant to me. He's just looking all right. He's looking decent. He's horrible on the ball, as you expect from most target men. The passing's not great, albeit they have boosted his passing a bit. Pace, not particularly quick, but he could be slower. Some big physical target men are slower than that, so I can't really complain about the pace. Like I say, he does have very good kicking power. You will notice that. Good kicking power behind his shots. That does help. And yeah, he is physically strong, but yeah, it's that jumping I'd like to get up a little bit. But they've only got up to 4 on aerial. As I mentioned now and then, the way they auto-allocate players is based on their position. It's got nothing to do with the playing style. So if you've got a goal poacher and a target man, they'll both be auto-allocated in the same way. It won't take into account that playing style, unless I'm mistaken, but I'm pretty sure it doesn't. So that's why they've only gone up to 4 on aerial there. So we do have a bit of scope for improving that. So if we just nick a few points from elsewhere, straight away we can get the jumping route to 87. Is it worth too much more? You could take a bit of lower body. Yeah, you could do that. You got 2 left there. Goalkeeper 1. We can get right to the 90 mark for jumping. What does they give us? 277.5. Okay, so that's a significant improvement. I still don't think he'd be absolutely dominant in the air. But if you do want a real target man build on Füllkrug, you just want to make him great for crossbound, for bringing the ball down from long balls and for scoring from crosses and so on. That could be a build. Not lost a great deal elsewhere. We're still on the 90 mark there for awareness and finishing. Heading 96. You'll need that because what I've found these days on the game is that unless you've got a proper pay-to-win striker with bullet heading, headers just don't go on target. They've absolutely nuffed the hell out of heading. So yeah, 96 heading. You might actually get some headers on target if you're lucky. I mean, now at 94 physical contact, that will play a part in his ability to win headers. The jumping's up to 90. But that's all about vertical reach, which is now 277.5, which, like I say, it's not amazing, but it's good. Still got some good kicking power there. You're not going to notice what we've taken off his pace, nor are you going to notice the slight reduction in balance. It's going to be bad already. So yeah, I think straight away that's pretty much how I build him if I had this card. You know what he's going to be good at. You know what you need to make him good at as a target man. If he's got that target man playing style, he's not going to be running in behind the defense a great deal. He's not going to move around too much. It would be nice if he was better on the build up, because for me, a target man ideally will be able to get the ball under control and play a pass, because that will be important at times. But what's most important, like I say, for a target man, if you're going to use him the way a target man needs to be used, is that you can aim the ball at his head and he can do something, whether you can win the headers. I think that build for me would probably be the way I would go with Füllkrug. If that's not the way you want to use him, if you do want to have a bit more mobility, you want him to be a bit better on the ball, by all means you can do that with a target man. It's not the ideal way to use him, but if you just don't spam crosses, but you like the playing style for more for holding the ball up and getting involved in the build up and what have you, then we could just let's just take everything off Ariel. Actually, that could be interesting. You could get him all the way up to 12 and dribbling there, and then put a few on passing. You could do that. That could work. His passing still won't be great. He's not got any passing skills there either to improve his passing. He'll be a lot more comfortable on the ball. Lost a bit from the awareness and finishing there, but we needed to do that to get him, to make him better on the ball there. Still got that kicking power behind his shots. Still got some physical strength, even with only one on aerial. Yeah, I don't know. He could do a job like that, but I'm not sure how effective it would be. I think if you want to really get the best out of Füllkrug, you'd want to use him as a target man. I'll leave him auto allocation, but as I just did a moment ago, I would definitely shuffle some points around, because if you want to make the most of a target man and really get the best out of him for what he needs to be good at, you need to get that jumping up primarily. Elsewhere, he's already looking alright, but the way I built him just now, I think it could be very effective getting on the Anderson crosses for you, especially if you use a super sub and you're throwing him on second half and you're spamming crosses to try and get a goal in the second half. He could be very effective coming off the bench. But yeah, he's got good searching skills, a bunch of shooting skills, like I say, heading and aerial as well as acrobatics. So he should be good from crosses, especially if you do training similar to what I did there. He's not going to be bad with auto allocation by any means. It's just, like I say, jumping 82, and of course jumping height, which is the most important thing. That jumping 82 means he only gets the 272.2 jumping reach, which is not that great. So most half decent centre backs will be pretty. They'll do alright against this guy in the air, unless you beef that jump up a bit. But yeah, like I say, it doesn't mean he's going to be bad, but I do think you need to tweak the way he's built. I think if you do that, if you do use him a certain way, and obviously by that I mean spam some crosses towards him, I think he could be pretty effective. So yeah, like I say, it's about as good a version of Füllkrug as we've had. And if you like a target man, you like putting that cross into the box, then he could well be a very decent card for you. Could do a pretty decent job, especially for that Italian League challenge. Right, who's next? Ademola Lookman. Saw on the Discord the other day, someone posted that picture of Lookman is actually a picture of him playing for Atalanta. They've just changed his kit. Why? I mean, would it not be quicker just to find a picture of him playing for Atletico Madrid rather than do the Photoshop job? I don't know. Anyways, got a face scan. Goal poacher centre forward. Lookman is normally an SS hole player. They've actually changed him to a goal poacher centre forward, which is interesting. I don't think he's actually been playing like that for Atletico Madrid. I think I've seen every game he's played for them, or at least most of them since he joined. He seems to be playing as a kind of similar to the way he did at Atalanta, to be honest, kind of left of centre as a kind of SS hole player type, not so much goal poacher centre forward. But I don't know, maybe I'm wrong on that, but that's what they made him on this card. He's got unwavering form. You can use him in the Spanish League Challenge. I've had loads of versions of Lookman. They've changed some skills in this one. So another one they've changed a few skills on. We've lost scissors feint, chop turn and gamesmanship, and we've gained first time shot. So if you're going to make him a centre forward, that is an important skill. Outside curler, handy one always. Is he 2-footed? Somewhat. Okay, outside curler is going to come in handy sometimes, I guess. Fighting spirit, they love giving players fighting spirit. That is a good one though. He's a super sub. He's got long control, long shooting, soul control. Got good selection skills on this guy for pretty much any attacking position, to be honest. Maybe on the right you'd want pinpoint crossing, but you're going to use him on the right? Not sure. We'll see. Let's train him up. So over to the hub. How good's he looking? Certainly as a centre forward, he's looking, yeah, pretty decent. That acceleration, wow, 97. Attacking wares, yeah, just shy of the 90 mark. It's near enough there. It's around about where you need it to be. Pretty nice in the ball for striker. Passing's not too bad for striker. Finishing's good. Yeah, good pace, bit of kicking power, good balance, a little bit of physical strength. I bet they boosted that. What have they boosted? So yeah, from his GP card, what they have boosted. They've not boosted too many stats actually from his GP card. His awareness and finishing are among them, so they have made him more usable as a striker. They put a few on his low pass. Yeah, physical contact's been boosted. Kicking power as well. not much else going on really. They've taken 2 points off heading, 3 points off jumping, so back to normal with the aerial ability being nerfed on every card ever except Füllkrug. Yeah, that's about it really. We've had a lot of Lookman cards. I've had loads of Player of the Week versions, highlights. He's had a couple of Showtime cards that are obviously the best we've had of him so far, but I don't see any kind of highlights of Player of the Week that are better than this. There are some that are kind of slightly different around the same level, kind of whole player versions. I think has there been a deep line forward, maybe it's a playmaker, something like that. I'm pretty sure at least one goal poacher as well in Player of the Week. So there's been some slightly different ones, but I don't see any that are outright better than this one. This is a good version of Lookman. And yeah, straight away looking at him as a centre forward, looking pretty good. It'd be nice if we get that awareness up to 90 mark. Not going to make a huge difference, but if you did want to do that, well, I mean, dexterity's up to 12, isn't it? So I guess it's not really efficient to do that, is it? It'd be 4 points. If you really want to do that, you could just take one off dexterity, one off dribbling, and do that. Oh, what am I doing? Not one off dexterity, one off shooting, I mean. You could do that. It does look nice to hit the 90 mark, but is it worth it? Would it make a huge difference? No, it's not like a magic threshold. It's just the kind of roundabout the level I like to aim for on certain stats. It seems to be where I get where players do best for me. I don't notice too much improvement beyond 90 on a lot of stats, but yeah, I don't think it's too efficient in this case with Lookman. I think if you're up to 12 dexterity, just leave it. You're fine with 89. It's not a problem at all. And like I say, just about everywhere else for a goal poacher, it's looking good. And skill-wise, yeah, good skills. I don't think I'd change a great deal, really. Certainly wouldn't dip any lower for dexterity. You could nick a couple off finishing if you wanted to. You could afford to do that, but would you really want to improve? I mean, if you did do that, you could actually beef up his dribbling a bit if you wanted. You might want to do that. That looks pretty nice, actually, to be fair. Kind of reminds me a bit of Kilitsoy. Kilitsoy's got his really nice on-the-ball stats, hasn't he? That free showtime they've just given us. You could do that. You could make him a bit stronger physically, actually. Do you want to do that, maybe? Almost hit the 80 mark physical contact. Could be handy. You're up against big, strong, physically strong centre backs if you're playing up front. You could do that. Yeah, there's a few things you could do. But whatever you do, he does look pretty decent, pretty handy as a goal poacher. And it might not be the first. I'm not certain on that, but it's certainly one of very, very few goal poacher versions of Lookman. There's only been maybe one, possibly two previous ones. So yeah, as a goal poacher Lookman card, looking pretty nice. But we do have other positions, of course. Let's start by just moving him back a bit as a number 10. We'll do a kind of SS or AMF build. And that'll be down to the passing. The passing's not looking great, but there's 0 on passing with this build. So we do have scope for improving that. Let's go down to 4 on shooting. Dexterity doesn't need to be as high. I'll leave that on 8. Forget about aerial for now. Right. What can we do with that passing? We can go to what? Okay. So up to 12 on passing, you only get 84 low pass. Has he got through passing? Yeah, he's got through passing, not one touch pass. You might want to give him one touch pass, but yeah, 84 low. I don't think I'd want him at AMF. I don't think, and this is fully boosted. Remember, without the game plan boost, you're talking 82 low pass, 84 fully boosted. You might have a manager that boosts low pass, I guess, but even then it'd only be 85. That for me, as an AMF, would not be high enough. As an SS, though, I think that's fine. You can get away with that, just as long as you're careful with the passing. I think that's not a problem. If you do that, we've still got some points left. Boost his dribbling a bit more. Let's get him almost 90 on everything for on the ball. Just nick a couple maybe from... Yeah, let's nick a couple from dexterity. Yeah, nice to get that 90 mark on all 3 of his on the ball stats. Yeah, there's an SS there. Looks pretty nice. He'll be lovely on the ball. Good pace. Balance isn't amazing. Could be worse though. He's still got a little bit of physical strength, even though we've not put any points on aerial this time. But yeah, lovely on the ball. The passing at SS will be okay. Finishing decent. Attacking awareness decent. You won't have like the playing style SS, but yeah, you could still do a very nice job there. Could be pretty tidy. Then out wide, so as I mentioned briefly before we go over to the hub, you could put him on the right. He's a right footer. You'd probably want pinpoint crossing on him as a right-footed right winger. He doesn't have pinpoint crossing, so you'd need to use one or more skill trainers to give him that. I'll say one or more. You might use hundreds, but yeah, if you gave him pinpoint crossing, we're up to 12 on passing there because this is a kind of number 10 type of build. Is that the best way to use him? It would work with pinpoint crossing. His crossing would be all right. 84 lofted, 77 goal. Very, very decent kicking power. Yeah, his crossing wouldn't be amazing. It would certainly be decent, so you could do that. So yeah, right wing's an option. If you move into the left wing, no, passing not as important. You can nick a few points back from passing if you want to focus a little bit more on the shooting. And then you nudge it up just till his curl hits 80, and then give him a bit more balance back. And then get 1 point left, stick it in area or whatever. As a left winger, yeah, pretty nice. That looks very nice to me. So good pace still. Balance is a bit better now. Lovely on the ball. The passing's okay for a wide man. Finishing 87 is nice. He's got long range curl as well as long range shooting and first time shot. A bit of curl as well and some kicking power certainly behind his shots. Coming off that left wing again, no active playing style. I will cover that soon. I'll get back to those videos. But yeah, it's always been fine for me. You play him on the left wing without an active playing style, either left midfield or left wing. Those stats for me, he looks very tidy. I think he could do a very nice job off the left wing. So yeah, you got a few ways you could use him. Not sure about right wing. You could do that if you wanted to. Obviously, you don't need the position trainers. But yeah, just behind the attack or up front, left right wing. You've got a few ways you can use him. You can use him in the Spanish League Challenge. If you've got a Lookman card, it's going to be an Atalanta one, isn't it, most likely? So you'll have one you can use in the Italian League Challenge. You might be looking at this thinking, well, I've already got a Lookman card. But if you get this one as well, you got one you can use in the Spanish League Challenge. So it is something this card will give you that his previous one doesn't, and it might be a different playing style for you as well. So yeah, I think it's quite a bit to be said for this guy. Quite two-footed as well as having outside curler. He's a super sub, could be a lovely super sub to throw on left, right, or centre. You've got a bunch of ways you can use him. It looks like it's about as good a card as we've had of Lookman apart from his Showtime cards. And yeah, it looks like a very handy one. Could be a very handy pick up for your Spanish League squad or in general. So yeah, so it's a nice Lookman card. That it's a pretty handy one. And then next we have Quinten Timber, who's joined Marseille. So he's got a face scan, a twin brother of Urine Timber, who plays for Arsenal. They've actually made the effort to do a different face scan, or at least they've tweaked it. He does look slightly different. Box-to-box centre mid, can play right back as well, can play DMF, got a few positions there. Only standard form, and there's no regular league challenge for the French league. So yeah, one of these cards where there might be limited use for him. Skill-wise, have they changed anything? Yes. So we've lost Scotch move, no-look pass, and captaincy. I think we can afford to live without those, and we've gained long-range shooting. Outside curl, is he two-footed? Kind of not majorly two-footed. Yeah, outside curl is a handy one there. And interception. So yeah, some good additions there. For a centre mid box-to-box, that's a pretty good section of skills there. One touch and through passing, two very, very important ones. Interception, fighting spirit. I think he's got most of the skills he really needs for that, and then he got a few bonuses on top, long range shooting thrown in. Yeah, good selection skills ready for a centre mid. He might need 1 or 2 more skills defensively if you're going to move him further back to DMF or right back. But let's just have a look. We jump over to the hub, see how good he actually is in each of his positions. So it's not the first. Oh, he's got his levels in already. It's just Füllkrug they've neglected. Yeah, so pretty solid. Not the first time I've had a card of this guy. There was a no-name contract, I think, at some point. There was one highlight card in some kind of legend box, I think it was slightly better. Apart from that, though, I don't think any of his highlights or player of the week cards are as good as this one. This is a good version of Timber. He's had a pretty mixed boost from his GP card, boosted him on the ball, boosted his pace, plus 10 on balance, that's the biggest boost he's had. Boosts his defending a bit. Yeah, solid boost, and he's like just a solid centre mid, really. Fairly nice on the ball, good passing. The attack awareness sucks, finishing sucks. So they've added long range shooting, but it made his finishing really bad. Excellent, that makes sense. Defensively for a centre mid, he's okay, but he's not amazing. Good pace for a centre mid. Decent kick around behind his shots, which won't be particularly good. Could argue he's a bit lacking physical strength for a centre mid. Balance, alright, but could be better. Stamina's good. So yeah, bit of a mixed bag. One to good ones. Certainly low pass and stamina over 90. He's alright, he's pretty decent on the ball. But yeah, attack awareness and finishing aren't great. I think for some people, you might want a bit more on his defending, certainly physical contact. For others, it might be fine. But yeah, he's just looking like an all-right centre mid, really. Not particularly, not a bad card, but nothing too exciting. If you wanted to boost him physically, I mean, they've not put any points on his area strength, actually. So if you want to boost him physically, there's 1 point in shooting. Is that making any difference to anything? No. You can nick a couple of passing there, leave him at the 90 mark, and then you've got 7 points to beef up his aerial strength. We're 1 away from the 80 mark. Is it worth nicking 2 from elsewhere to get it to 80? I don't know. You've just hit the +3 mark on the ball there. I wouldn't want to take a point off there, because then you lose 2, because you go back down to +2. Only on 4 dexterity touch. It would be nice to get a bit more on there. Yeah, I think I would be doing probably that. I think I'll probably do that. Get that physical up to the 80 mark. Passing still good. Still not touched him on the ball. Got a little bit more on his dexterity. Yeah, I think he looks alright actually as a centre mid. He doesn't look amazing. The attack awareness does bother me. But outside of that, yeah, you got a mix of some good stats and some okay stats. I don't think he's going to get into straight into many people's main squads, but certainly could do a job. But yeah, again, there's no regular league challenge for the French league, so a lack of modes you can use him in, which is a shame. Maybe for your Dutch squad, he could be a handy one. But yeah, he's one of the better versions we've had of this guy, and he's It looks like a solid all-rounder really in the middle of the park. Good selection skills for a centre mid box to box. And yeah, 1 or 2 stats I'd like to be higher. There's a few that aren't particularly great, but pretty solid. There's some good ones there. I think he could do a job as a centre mid. Let's just start with an attacking midfield before we move back to the defensive positions he's got. So if we took off all the defending and aerial, definitely go straight to 8 on dexterity. Where do we put all these points? Let's make him better on the ball and then a bit more dexterity to finish. Yeah, I mean, he can't really get his finishing to a particularly good level, so I'll leave that. I'll just put 1 on there, I think, that last 1 point. But yeah, if you did want to make him attacking mid, obviously it would take your position trainers. You might get lucky, you might get it in 1, it might take you thousands. That's the way position trainers work. They suck. But you can make him pretty nice on the ball, still nice passing there. You can improve his attacking awareness, albeit it's still not great. I'd like it to be 80 plus for an attacking mid, ideally. Pretty good pace for an attacking mid. Bounces at a decent level now. Yeah, he could be alright as an attacking mid, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, he's got some good skills for it as well. Long range shooting, 1 touch and through, but is it worth the position trainers? I don't think so. If you've got some real attachment to this guy, you really love him in real life for whatever reason, then yeah, it might be worth doing that. You can make him decent attacking mid, but yeah, 1 or 2 stats I'd like to be a bit higher there. And is it worth the position trainers? Probably not. So let's move back. Well, actually, let's do a crossband build first. We've got to do that, haven't we? What we're gonna do? Don't need to do much actually. I'd be tempted to leave that actually as it is. His crossing won't be amazing. You'd have to give him pinpoint crossing. Has he got it? No, he's not got pinpoint crossing. So you need to give him pinpoint crossing. 84 lofted. Terrible goal. Not a great deal of kicking power. Yeah, his crossing wouldn't be amazing even if you gave him pinpoint crossing, but pretty decent pace, pretty decent balance, good on the ball. It does have some qualities there as a winger, but how many position trainers is it going to take you to do that? How many skill trainers? Is it worth it? No, let's be serious, it's not. And as a left winger, I mean, I'd do a similar build, to be honest. I'd make him more of a playmaker coming in from the left wing. There's no point trying to improve his finishing. Make him that kind of an inverted winger. Again, is it worth the position trainers? Probably not. So yeah, let's move back to defensive mid first, make him a DMF. Let's see what auto allocation tells us for DMF. It tells us he's all right. Has he got the physical strength? No, certainly not to be an out-and-out DMF. If he's your lone DMF protecting your defence, then yeah, he needs more physical strength. Probably needs a bit more defensive awareness. The rest of the defences are pretty decent though. And the rest of his stats are alright. Not amazing on the ball. We've lost some points there, but yeah, I think it's probably, again, another one of these double pivot types of player. Whether it's a double pivot you have, whether you've got some kind of diamond or 3 midfielders, you basically need one or more midfielders who are going to be doing most of the defensive work for him. Can't give this guy all the defensive responsibility for your midfield because he's just not going to quite cut it. But in some kind of formations, like I say, some kind of double pivot, something along those lines could definitely do a job. But I think you're better off making more of an all-rounder, make him do a bit of everything, not trying to focus too much on his defensive and physical ability. Because if you do that, you lose too many points elsewhere, and you can't even make him that good defensively or physically. So yeah, as a DMF, yes, he could do a job in some kind of midfields, but doesn't look amazing to me. And then right back, I'm going to auto allocate again. I bet they'll put like 1 million points on lower body. Yeah, 14. That's just silly. Yeah, he looks alright as a right back actually. That's not bad. I would definitely take at least 2 off lower body there. Got amazing stamina. Where do you need to beef him up? Not many areas. The defensive awareness is the one thing that lets him down a bit really. I'd be inclined to just let that be as it is and just nudge his area to the 80 mark. One point left. Where's that 1 point going? Shooting really, it's not, can't really put it on any others. Not much point putting it on goalkeeper 1. Yeah, he looks alright as an attacking right back. Again, I have covered fullback with those videos I started on players without an active playing style. If you play him as a right back and he doesn't have an active playing style, he will be an attacking fullback. You can make him a defensive forward, the defensive instruction, but do you want a defensive fullback with 76 defensive awareness? Probably not. But as an attacking fullback, certainly. Pace, just about everything down the right hand side, really great balance for a fullback and stamina. The defensives, yes, the awareness sucks, but he would be an attacking fullback. You can live with the other defensive stats being alright. Certainly quite aggressive. And then these stats here on the ball, he's not got pinpoint crossing. The loft is not great, so he's not got a great cross on him. But yeah, outside of that, you got 1 or 2 slight weaknesses. But on the whole, as an attacking right back, I think he could be pretty handy. He could definitely do a job. He's got most of the skills he needs, but I would say he probably needs man marking, blocker as well. Maybe acrobatic clearance, but yeah, you could definitely do worse as a right back. So he's certainly got a degree of versatility. And then one more position left. Can you make him a sneaky centre back? I'm going to guess probably not. Yeah, not really. You're lacking a bit physically. He's certainly lacking aerially. And then defensively, the awareness just isn't really good enough. So yeah, some decent stats. So you need a bunch of skills, and you need a bunch of those stats to be higher as well. So he's not much of a sneaky centre back, but certainly as a centre mid, as an all-rounder in the middle of the park, or as a right back, those two positions you can definitely make him pretty decent. So yeah, is it an amazing card? No, but he's quite versatile. You got a couple of ways you could use him, but the lack of lead change does go against him as well. So there's pros and cons with this guy. It's not the most exciting card, but it could be one that I think you just find it underused for. Really, could be a useful one to add to your ranks. Maybe it's for your Netherlands squad, something like that. But yeah, not amazing, but could be handy one for some people. Next, another midfielder. We've got Pascal Groß, who's back at Brighton. Got a face scan, orchestrator, centre midfielder. Got a few positions again. Unwavering, pretty two-footed. Can use him in the English League Challenge. A few positives already. Skill-wise, no changes here. Got his usual skills. So yeah, another one of these orchestrators who's got a load of skills to make him good on the ball. Obviously, you know what he's good at, but the only thing defensively we've got is sliding tackle. That's about it, really. So yeah, if you give this guy any amount of defensive responsibility, for a start, you're going to need to give him a few defensive skills, but we'll see how the stats are. We'll see if those stats are high enough to make him a DMF or whatever. But yeah, let's just do that, get straight over to the hub. Not the first Pascal Groß card we've had, but it's about as good as any previous ones, including his player of the season card. It's a solid version of him. They've not boosted a lot, really. What they've really done in terms of the boost from his GP cards, they've given him a really big boost to his pace, which he needed. 13, 14 points on his speed and acceleration. They've put 8 points in his physical contact and balance. Apart from that, just a few slight boosts and some not boosted at all, really. So yeah, just an athletic boost, really, which he did need. But as you see when you max him out, yeah, he didn't really need that much of a boost elsewhere. Certainly the passing's fantastic. He's pretty decent on the ball. Pretty nice, really. But yeah, defensively, as I mentioned, he's lacking the skills, and certainly in terms of the attributes as well. Depending how you build him, obviously, I mean, they've gone up to 8, actually. I was going to say, I thought they might have only gone up to 4 on defending, but that's up to 8 on defending, and he's still terrible at defending. So yeah, I'm not sure how effective this guy is going to be if you start giving him any kind of defensive responsibilities, like a DMF or a right back. He can't defend, not physically strong, not particularly. So yeah, definitely one of these cards that's a lot better going forward than he is at defending. And yeah, overall about as good as a version of Groß as we've had, but it's the athletic boost that really gets into areas in terms of, you know, one of the things that makes him more appealing than some of his previous cards. Where do we start? Let's just start by ruling out the defensive positions. Let's go to right back first, actually, because I don't think he's going to... Oh, he's quite quick, actually. Well, he's not quick, but he's quicker than I expected as a right back. But he can't defend to save his life. So if you want a really attacking right back who can't defend, yeah, he could do a job for you. He's definitely got some end product with his passing and his crossing. He's got pinpoint crossing, of course. But yeah, as I mentioned, he can't defend to save his life, and he's got no defensive skills. So are you going to use this guy as a right back? No, you're not, are you? And if you are, you're probably going to concede goals from your right flank. But certainly some qualities as a very attacking right back. But like I say, lacking a bit of pace, and he can't defend to save his life. So yeah, you can put him at right back, but good luck if you do, because you're going to have issues defensively. And then DMF, I think, similar story, isn't it? Let's auto allocate that, yeah. So up to 13 on defending. That's how many points? 28 points, is it? Oof, check my maths, yeah. And with all those points spent on defending, he's still bad at defending. So yeah, I mean, maybe as a deep line playmaker, again, does some kind of double pivot. You got like a destroyer on command alongside him, maybe, but you lost a bunch of points from on the ball there. And he's still a bit weak defensively, and he's weak defensively, physically, I mean, and weak defensively still. So yeah, I don't really fancy him as a DMF really at all. I think you're going to need 1 or 2 midfielders behind him, and then put him as a CMF and just have him playmaking, which is what he's good at. I would personally be inclined to just take all those points off defending and just forget defending at all. There's just no point, even with auto allocation up to 8 on defending. Those defensive stats are horrible. He can't defend. So yeah, I don't think I mean, if you wanted to have some defensive ability, you could go to 8 defending there, leave 4 on aerial. And you could, what could we do? Give him a bit more balance. Yeah, you could do something like that. There's an all-rounder in the middle of the park with at least a little bit of defensive ability. Yeah, it could be solid. Definitely going to be a deep line playmaker. You're not going to be focusing on his defensive ability at all, but yeah, as an all-round kind of ability, you could do that. But like I say, I think if you want to focus on what Groß is good at, you want to just forget about defending it, in which case you're going to free up a bunch of points. And with those points, you can make his shooting better. You can get up to 90 for ball control, be nice. 1 more point, and that's going... Oh, we're nearly the 80 mark for attacking mass. Let's just take some back from shooting. His shooting won't be that great anyway. Nice. It'd be nice if we had 90 for dribbling, but it doesn't make a lot of difference. Yeah, is it worth even trying? Yeah, let's do it. Why not? Let's do an OCD build, get as many 90 plus as we can. Yeah, I mean, that's an attacking mid build, really. Yes, the finishing's still not great, but you can't make it that good. I mean, you could, but you'd have to sacrifice points from elsewhere. But as a very attack-minded orchestrator from centre midfield, or as an attacking midfielder, I'd be inclined to do something like that. Forget trying to make him good at defending. You can't. It's a waste of points. Lovely on the ball, good passing. Yes, the finishing sucks, but it's hard to make it any good. We will do a slightly different build. We'll improve that finishing in a minute, but you'll see, as you'll see, we're going to have to sacrifice a bit elsewhere. But you got the attack wins to 80. Speed's not amazing, but the acceleration's pretty decent. Probably way too decent for Groß, to be fair. Decent kicking power behind his shots, even if his shots aren't great. Balance isn't amazing. Pretty good stamina. So yeah, there's a few stats you'd like to be high. Probably primarily the shooting, really, but lots of good stats there as an attacking mid, and he's got all the skills he needs, really. He got a couple of shooting skills there, passing. End product wise, yeah, be sorted. Soul control, he's gonna be good. Yeah, he's gonna be good in the ball. He's gonna have end product as an attacking mid or very attack minded centre mid. Could be very handy. So yeah, if you're gonna do a build to make his shooting a bit better, in fact, I'll do a right mid build first, actually. Albeit, I think I'd be inclined to leave it just like that, and he'd just be a Beckham style winger. Just focus on his end product, his ability to put crosses in. Yeah, I think that's what I'd do. I don't think I'd change it, because if you want to play him on the right, there's no point trying to make him much quicker, because, you know, you're up to 7 now on low body, you only got 80 speed. I would just do that. He's got pinpoint crossing, he's got the passing and shooting skills. Get him the ball on the right, just whip crosses in. He'll have a good cross on him. He's tidy on the ball. Yes, he's not the quickest, but he's got some acceleration on him. So he'll have a bit of turn of pace, you'd think. Yeah, as a right mid with no the playing style, he could do a job for you. Like I say, he'd be very much a Beckham style winger. He's not got the pace to go kind of skinning his man, but certainly in terms of putting crosses in, could be very handy. But as an attacking mid, I guess this would be kind of a left mid build maybe as well. Focus more on the shooting. Take a bunch of points off the passing. Okay, this might be tricky. I'll do a left mid build first. So you can make him a left mid. I don't think it's going to be worth using the position trainers, but let's just see. Okay, so you can get his finishing almost to the 80 mark. He really took a few off his passing, yeah. So that's more of an attacking mid build. If you want to make his finishing decent, you'd have to sacrifice too much from his pace. So yeah, I'm not sure how good he'd be as a left wing. I think you forget that. It's not worth the position trainers. I don't think you can make him that good there. But as an attacking mid where the pace isn't so important, you can get his finishing up to 80, but you sacrifice the passing to the point where it's too low for me. You'd probably have to nick some from his on-the-ball stats there, get his passing back up. Yeah, I think that's all you could really realistically do. Could still be pretty decent as attacking mid. It's up to you, really. I mean, to be honest, I think that's probably, it might be a preferable kind of build for some people. You really want to make him good at shooting. He's got a bit of kicking power. He's got a long range curl, long range shooting. He's still got good passing edge. Not quite as good in the ball. Not quite as high attacking awareness. It could be an appealing build, something like that for attacking mid. So you got options. You can improve that finishing. You could just focus on the passing, make him nice on the ball, get the attack awareness up. So there's a couple of ways you could build him as an attacking midfielder. It could be pretty handy there. So yeah, it's an interesting Groß card. They've obviously beefed up the pace a bit. I could well make him more appealing for some people. You do have a few ways you can use him. Personally, I would not use him in any role where he's going to have any defensive responsibility. You just can't make him strong enough defensively. If you're just playing against the AI, then yeah, sure you could. But yeah, at least competitively playing online, yeah, I'd rule out those positions. But as a very attack-minded centre mid, playmaking with the end product he's got could be nice. As a right winger who lacks pace but he's got good crossing, could be an option. But I think attacking mid especially, or as a very attack-minded centre mid, whether you try and beef up the finishing or you just make him really nice on the ball, get the attack awareness up. It seems like he's going to be lacking in one or two stats, whatever you do, but most of those stats are pretty good for attacking mid, or like I say, for as a very attack-minded centre mid. So it could be a handy one. He's definitely going to have end product. He's got quality, and it's about as good as any Groß card we've had. So yeah, one for the English League Challenge maybe. He's got one or two uses for him. Could be a handy one. It's an interesting Groß card. Yeah, not an amazing one, but I think a fair few people, if you like this kind of a player who's all about the technical abilities, not so much about the dribbling and so on, yeah, it could be a useful card, at least for the English League Challenge. It's an interesting Pascal Groß card, that. And next we have João Cancelo. Not a Cancelo card recently. Or have we? Did we have one from the Asian Champions League, maybe? I don't remember. Anyways, we've got a Cancelo card. And straight away we've got one interesting thing on this card, and that's his playing style. Because he is only for the second time, as far as I'm aware, an attacking fullback. He's usually a fullback finisher. Got a face gun there. But yeah, I think it's only his Champions League Player of the Week card as an attacking fullback. Otherwise, he's always a fullback finisher, which is not my favourite playing style as a fullback. That's just personal preference. But yeah, he's an attacking fullback this time. I can use him in the Spanish League challenge because he's back in Spain, obviously, with Barca. Only standard form. Remains to be seen how much he plays for Barca and how much form he gets. Skill-wise, any changes? Yes. So we've lost Scissors, Feint, and Sombrero. I think we can live without those. We've gained long-range curler. Interesting. I guess if you play him on the left, then that could be handy. Although he's got outside curler. So maybe you could do an outside kind of Trivela long-range curler from the right wing, I guess. What else are they giving us? One-touch pass. Okay, so I was hoping they'd give us a bit more defensively, but we've at least got interception and sliding tackle. If you're going to play him as a fullback, I would give him fighting spirit. He's not going to be the strongest physically, is he? Yeah, I mean, he could be worse. We'll see if he's had that boosted in a second. But yeah, fighting spirit, man marking, blocker, acrobatic clearance. There's a few defensive skills you benefit from, but certainly going forward, he is obviously a very, very attack-minded fullback. We've got the ball roll double touch, nice double touch flip flap soul control. Dribblers will be pleased with that. Obviously they've had a long range curler, one touch and through, pinpoint crossing outside curler. So yeah, got really nice touching skills when he goes forward. Just lacking a few defensively really, but yeah, let's get over to double, let's train him up, see how good his Cancelo card is. So it's very attacking. Yeah, it's another very attacking forward really, where his defensive stats are the one thing that hold him back, but we can potentially boost them a little bit. We'll see what we can do in a second. Not the first Cancelo card we've had. We've had a lot. We've had a Showtime, which is obviously the best version we've had. Apart from that, I can only see one previous highlight. I think it's from an old Man City pack that looks a bit better than this one. Apart from that, I don't see any better ones. There's some around this level, to be fair. It's a solid Cancelo card. Not the best one we've had, but it's up there as one of the better ones that we've had. And like I say, I can only see fullback finishers apart from that Champions League Player of the Week that was an attacking fullback. Not the most exciting boost from his GP card, giving him a bit of speed, some physical contact and balance, nice boost on his defensive engagement. Apart from that, not much going on really. So yeah, as always in a fullback, they've gone ham on lower body, which, as I always say, I don't personally think that's the most efficient way to build him. I would nick at least a couple from there. I can get you a couple higher on defensives. I think just one higher on defending and I would leave it there just to get to the 80 mark on tackling and engagement would look nice. We just need 1 point to do that. I'll nick one off area, we're not going to notice that. Bosh, I'll just do that. No point taking points off passing and dribbling. You could afford to, but you're only going to get a few points from doing that because those first were only +1. You could nick one from dexterity. Is it worth it? Probably not. So yeah, I'll just do that. And then you got a fullback who, in my opinion, has at least got the minimum defensively and physically maybe slightly lacking, I guess, but certainly for what he is, Cancelo, he's a very attack-minded fullback. He's lovely on the ball for a fullback. He's going to have good passing and crossing for a fullback. He's got pace, he's got great stamina, pretty good balance for a fullback. Yeah, it's just physically and defensively he might be a little bit lacking for some people, but like I say, he is what he is. He's a very attacking fullback. Whether he's got his usual playing style fullback finisher or even just an attacking fullback, you're going to be focusing more on his ability getting forward than you are defending. So yeah, for his João Cancelo card, very attacking fullback. That's a solid card. That he looks good at right back. As a left back, he's not overly 2-footed, but he's got outside curler. You could put him at left back, of course. I don't think you're going to make much of a sneaky centre back out of him, but we'll check. No, physically, aerially, defensively, all the most important areas he's lacking, so he's not going to be a centre back. Got a few midfield positions though. We're going to get to the one that I want to see. What I want to look at. Probably guess what that is. But yeah, we'll start with DMF. Can you make him a DMF? Well, you could, to be fair. I think you can get away with that. Again, he's not one you want to put in front of your defence and have him as your lone DMF. You can't give him too much defensive responsibility. But with a bit of defensive ability there, decent on the ball, fairly good passing. He's got one touch and through. You need to give him 1 to defensive skills. I'll definitely give him fighting spirit as a DMF because you need a bit more physical strength in that area of the pitch. But he could do a job there. I don't think it'd be amazing as a DMF, but certainly he could do a job if you wanted to put a couple of position trains on, see if you get 1 or 2 other positions. Yeah, as a DMF, he could do worse. Pretty good pace there, stamina's fine, yeah. There's quite a few decent stats there. There's 1 or 2 a bit lacking, but he could fit into some midfield setups as a DMF. As a centre in, more of an all-rounder. I mean, I just realised they've gone up to 14 on defending as that DMF build. No, thank you. I'm going to take a bunch of those back. I'll go 11 defending. So as a centre mid, we've got 5 points left. I'll put the remaining ones there. Yeah. Centre mid, yeah, he could definitely do a job there. Pretty nice on the ball, good passing. Defensively, he's got a bit of defensive ability, and then down the right, good pace. Again, the physical strength's not great. Might hold him back a little bit, especially without fighting spirit. Balance is kind of okay-ish. Stamina's good. Yeah, as a centre mid, again, if you were going to put 1 or 2 position changes on and get even more versatility out of him, could be a decent centre mid for you. You could definitely do a job like that. And then we've got left mid and right mid. Let's start with left mid because I want to finish on right mid. Left mid. As a left mid, if you want to get his finishing up a bit, I mean, you can't really do that, can you? No. He's got long range curler, but yeah, there's only so much that's going to improve his shooting. Up to 8 on shooting, get the finishing only to 17. No, it's not happening, does it? I don't think he's going to be great as a left winger, although we've got loads of points if you take it from defending. Yeah, you can get him pretty decent in most areas, but the finishing will be terrible. That attacking wise isn't great. Yeah, I don't think he'd be too great as a left winger. I'm going to finish up looking at right wing. This is the position I want to look at because I think I might have the very first Cancelo highlight card. It's from way back at the beginning, and he only had like about 5 levels or something, so he only had a few points to put on him, but you can make him a very nice right winger for a bit of cross spam. So we're going to do a little cross spam build on Mr. Cancelo, and as you're about to see, he is rather nice as a winger. Yeah, so as you can see, got the pace, pretty nice balance, great stamina, good on the ball, 90 lofted, 90 curl, 85 kicking power. He's already got pinpoint crossing, he's got the passing, he's got the ball roll double touch as well. As a right winger, you see there, it's telling you 102. This guy's a right winger. I can tell you from experience, Marc Cancelo has always done a nice job. I don't do a lot of crossing these days, and there's not much point because I've nerfed it so badly, but yeah, when I used to do a lot of crossing, I used Marc Cancelo as a right winger in the Spanish League Challenge, used him quite a bit as a right mid. Really, really nice, and this one's better than my one. As you can see, you know, in an ideal world, maybe his shooting will be a bit better, his attacking might be a little bit better, but on the whole, if you're going to use him for what he's good at in that type of role on the right wing, in the areas he needs to be important for that, he's great. If you're going to be really greedy, maybe a bit more kicking power would be nice as well for his crosses, but he's got the lofted and the curl at the 90 mark, he's got pinpoint crossing, he's quick, he's good on the ball. Yeah, lovely right winger. So that is a real option you got. If you like to put a lot of crosses in on your right wing, he's already fully proficient there. He's got the skills he needs for it. He could be a really, really nice option now. I can tell you from experience, he's been fantastic for me when I've used him like that. And my version is not as good as this one. So yeah, you've got 2 main ways to use this guy. Obviously, one as a right winger there. And if I leave him back in auto allocation as a right back, as you can see, he's obviously a pretty tidy right back as well, albeit is a very attacking one. If you like your fullbacks to be really defensive, especially an actual defensive fullback, or if you like your kind of auxiliary centre backs or whatever, you're one of these types, you're just like 4 centre backs across your defence. He is not going to be your cup of tea, but if you like an attacking fullback to get forward and contribute to the attack, could be a really, really nice pickup for you if you've not got a good Cancelo card already. And of course, right wing, those are the 2 main uses for him. You could put him at left back as well, you could do a job there. And 1 or 2 midfield positions you could get him to do a job in as well. But yeah, mainly down the right hand side, either a very attacking right back or a very, very nice right winger whipping some crosses in for you. Got 2 nice options for you there. And he could especially be a nice Cancelo option for you if you don't like fullback finishers. For me personally, I'd love a Cancelo as an attacking fullback. It'd be really nice for me. Not sure it's worth me spinning the pack because there's no one else I really particularly want from this pack. But yeah, mine's a fullback finisher, which is why one of the reasons I don't really like use mine as a fullback. I end up using more as a winger, but attacking fullback this time. So yeah, that may well appeal to a lot of people compared to the normal playing style, but whichever way you're using, right back, right wing, or maybe onto other positions, you've got a bit of versatility there, you've got plenty of ability. I think for a lot of people, especially for your Spanish League Challenge, it could be a really nice pickup. That I think that's a pretty good card. And next we have Stegen. So we've got a goalie. He is now on loan at Girona. He played, I think, 2 games before he pulled his hamstring, so now he's injured again. I feel terrible for this guy. He's had such a nightmare with injuries the last few years. But yeah, he's got a face scan. He's an attacking goalie, Spanish League Challenge option, unwavering form. He's not the tallest. We'll find out his arm coverage in a second. Skill-wise, nothing's changed. Got low punt, high punt, along to a captaincy, so a good set of skills for a goalie. Yeah, let's just jump straight over to the hub. Let's train out, see how good he is. So obviously it's not the first to second card we've had. We've had plenty because he's been at Barca all this time. To be honest, he's around about the same level as his better ones, really. I've seen maybe his one highlight, possibly one of his, possibly the Champions League Player of the Week card, maybe slightly better, but not a lot of difference. He's around about the same level as his better cards, really. So it's a good, solid version of ter Stegen. As you'd expect with most goalies, they're taking a few points off his jumping, physical contact, and his kicking power. Not that great deal with his goalie stats, to be fair. They put 6 points on catching. That's the main news, really. Not a lot else going on. That's the one goalie stat that did need boosting, though, so that is good. That's kind of balanced out his goalie stats a little bit. Yeah, a bunch of random stats up by 1 or 2, but yeah, it's essentially just a good, solid to Stegen card, really. As I'd always do with the goalie, I'd nick a few points from aerial to boost up 1 or 2 of his main goalie stats a little bit. Let's just get his reach and parrying up. So what is his arm coverage? 170. Okay, so his arm coverage is not great. It's not disastrous, but it's not great. It's really not brilliant. So yeah, what is he? 6'1", 6'2". Not brilliant arm coverage. It's nice to get that reach up a little bit if we can, which we can. Could we get it a bit higher even? We could do. I think it's probably worth it as well. Even higher than that, maybe. Is that worth doing? I would say it's worth doing. I'd personally be inclined to do that. Those last 2 points, I'll stick them on passing. I'd rather put them on passing than jumping for a goalkeeper. That's just me. So yeah, the distributions are right there. But yeah, those goalie stats, you're in the 90s in 4 out of the 5. It's just the catching, and that has been boosted from his GP card. So that's a solid second card. That's a good goalie card, to be fair. It's just the coverage isn't amazing, but you can get that reach up into the 90s. It will compensate to a fair extent. So yeah, the coverage won't be terrible, but it's not amazing. But the goalie stats on the whole are pretty good. It's around the same level as the better Stegen cards you've had. I will say I've got the Champions League Player of the Week version of Stegen. It's been absolutely brilliant for me. He's made so many amazing saves. He's never let me down. So yeah, on that basis, looking at this version of him, yeah, I think if you've not got a Stegen card as a goalkeeper option for your Spanish League squad, could be a really nice pickup. A solid goalie this. Nothing really lacking. Obviously, they've nerfed the jumping and physical a little bit, but where it really counts, good goalie. You got unwavering form as well. He's got most of the skills a goalie would want. Maybe you'd want penalty saver, I guess. But yeah, low punt, high punt, long throw. You got the distribution skills, and the distribution stats might not be amazing, but they're alright. He's not as good in the ball as his nominating contract card, because he had that rant that they did a nominating contract version, didn't they, where he had really good on the ball stats. But yeah, where it counts is good. It's around about the same level as his better cards. Yes, the catching's not amazing, but the rest of the stats are good. We've beefed up his reach there because his coverage isn't brilliant. And yeah, not much more to say really. It's a good side to Stegen card. If you've not got a Stegen card, if you've not got many good goalie options for your Spanish League squad, it could be a very nice pickup. And next we have Antoine Semenyo, who's joined Man City. Face scan, prolific winger, right wing forward. Very two-footed, unwavering form. Can use an English League challenge. Skill-wise, any changes? Yes. Ooh, we had a few. Okay, so we've lost chop turn, penalty specialist, and gamesmanship. We have gained double touch, long range curler, long range shooting, first time shot, through passing, fighting spirit. Are they all new? Wow. So yeah, we've made gained a bunch of skills there. We've got a good set of skills now on a winger. Very nice. I think this is going to be one of those wingers where he's better on the left than the right. Is his crossing going to be any good? Probably not. He's not got pinpoint crossing, but long range curler coming off that left wing. Long range shooting, first time shot, through passing. Yeah, interesting. If you give him flip flap, he'll have the ball roll double touch as well, because he's got double touch and cell control. So some good skills on him. Let's find out how good he is. Let's get straight over to the hub. He is decent. He looks decent. Yeah, not the first Semenyo. We've had a Showtime recently. That's obviously the best version we've had of him. Outside of that Showtime one, he's around about the same level as his recent Player of the Week card. And it's the best highlight we've had of him so far. So yeah, it's a good version of Semenyo, this. Nothing really stands out in terms of the way he's been boosted from his GP card. He's been boosted a bit on the ball, a bit of physical contact and balance. He's lost 2 points off lofted pass. He's lost 1 point off speed. He's lost 5 points off jumping, of course. Standard fare. Lost 2 points off stamina as well. So they've nerfed him a little bit here and there for no obvious reason whatsoever. But yeah, on the whole, it's looking like a decent version of Semenyo. The passing's not amazing. That's one thing we're holding back a little bit. He's got a bit of physical strength there. It's quite nice on a winger. Yeah, solid card. You could shuffle a few points around if you want to get the passing up a little bit. Is it worth doing that? Maybe, maybe not. I'm not sure there's much outside of passing that really needs boosting, but if when you've got one on defending there for a start, and then you could maybe nick one off dexterity, nick one off lower body maybe. It gives you a few more on his passing. Is it worth doing that? Maybe. I don't know. It depends on what you want to use him for. I think with through passing, get his passing up a little bit. Yeah, his passing, especially with through passes, it'll be half decent for a winger. It won't be amazing though. For some people, you might think that if his passing's not that great, and maybe just want to focus on his finishing, in which case you could go up to 8 on shooting, maybe sit as last two back on lower body. 87 finishing, 85 attack awareness on a prolific winger, very nice. You might want to do that if that's what you want to focus on. Just want to focus on his ability to score goals. I certainly don't think it'd be much cop on the right hand side whipping crosses in. Even if you put all those points from shooting back into passing. 78 lofted, even with pinpoint crossing, his curl's gonna be terrible. Yeah, he's not gonna have a great cross. I don't think it'll be too great on the right, but on the flip side, he is two-footed. He's fully two-footed, so you could use him on the right. Actually, you don't have to just whip crosses in with him from the right hand side. You could easily be cutting his side and using his left foot. So yeah, as an option on the left and the right, could be decent. But like I say, the crossing won't be great. The passing won't be brilliant. You could improve that low pass a little bit. I'd be tempted to do that. It depends how you want to play it, really. But yeah, you've got through passing there, so you got the option. But you might. I think most people would probably prefer to make him better at finishing there and just focus on his pace, his on the ball ability, getting into goal scoring positions and scoring goals with him. I think it'll be decent. It doesn't look amazing. We've had that Showtime recently. I wouldn't be surprised if there's another better version of it in some kind of paid pack in the near future, Showtime or whatever. But yeah, you've got pace, you're good in the ball, you're wearing some finishing, looking pretty nice for a winger. Bounce, pretty decent. Not amazing, but decent. But he does have a bit of physical strength as well. Bit of kicking out behind his shots. Looks pretty tidy as a winger, goal scoring winger. You can make him a striker on SS. I'm not confident you can make him a good SS. I mean, what would you do as an SS? Not really many points that you can spare to try and beef up his passing, to be honest. Yeah, I don't fancy with an SS. I think you've got to focus on the goal scoring with this guy. So it's centre forward. Let's go auto allocation. What's auto allocation going to tell us as a striker? Yeah, usable. Actually, usable. The attacking awareness could be better. You can only get up to 88 fully boosted. If you go up to 12 in dexterity, I wouldn't bother going any higher. You can get this finishing up to the 90 mark there. You can nudge it up to 91 if you wanted. Is that 1 point worth it on passing? Not really. 4 on aerial. Yeah, he's got a bit of physical contact. That will help. If you're playing him up front, you'll be up against some physically strong centre backs. Yeah, I wouldn't change a great deal there, to be honest. You could. I mean, there's a few things you could do. I mean, if you took those points, if you took a few from physical there, you could maybe nudge his kicking power to the 90 mark if you really fancy doing that. Yeah, not a lot you can do really, but you could be decent there. You'd have to use position trainers. Maybe you get lucky and get it with just one. It might take you 1,000. Position trainers suck, but yeah, you could make him a striker. Could make him a handy one. He does have first time shot there as well as long range curler, long range shooting. So yeah, is an option if you really want to make Semenyo centre forward. I think it could be a very usable one there. But I think for most people, you just want to stick to a winger, whether he's on the right, like his registered position, or on the left. He is two-footed, so it doesn't make too much difference. But yeah, he's got the pace. He's good on the ball. Bounce is pretty good. He's got some physical strength as well, which is a nice bonus on a winger. And he might not be amazing at passing, but he's certainly decent at finishing. Good attack awareness as well. So yeah, it's one of the better Semenyo cards I've had so far. You do have that second booster slot in a Semenyo card. With the second booster, I always say I've never been too bothered by it. Now they've improved the way boosters work. When you do a random one, you're not as likely to get a bad one now. It's usually one that's quite relevant. So you might get agility, you might get ball carrying, you might get fantasy. There's loads you can get. The way they work now, because the odds are in your favour in terms of getting at least a decent one, even if it's not the exact one you want, I'll just throw a few randoms on. The chances are you get something decent. Maybe just make them even better on the ball, something like ball carrying fantasist or something like that. So yeah, it's a handy card. That is one of the better Semenyo cards I've had so far. Left wing, right wing, more for goal scoring than passing. But yeah, it could be a very, very capable winger option for you, especially for your English 3 squad. So it's a good card, that. And have we saved the best till last? Probably not. Let's see though. We've got Conor Gallagher. So face scan, box to box centre mid. He's at Spurs now. Only standard form. He keeps in the English League Challenge though. Skill wise, have they changed anything skill wise? Yes, they've taken away gamesmanship and captaincy. They've added long range shooting, through passing. That's a good addition, and interception. So is that. Okay, some good additions then. So another box to box centre mid has got most of the important skills that he needs. He got a bunch of shooting skills there. Heel trick, and then obviously one touch through, interception, fighting spirit. I'd say those last 4 are probably the first 4 I'd look for on a box to box centre mid. So yeah, got good selection skills in a hole there. Again, if you're going to move him back to DMF, you probably need to give him a couple more defensive skills, but certainly for centre mid, he got most of what you need there. Let's go train him up then. Let's see how good this Conor Gallagher card is. It is, yeah, pretty solid, similar to Timber really. Around about the same level at first glance. Very aggressive, as you'd expect. That's probably from playing for Simeone at Atletico Madrid. Good passing, pretty decent on the ball. Attack awareness, defense awareness, both a little bit lacking. That's a bit of a shame. That does concern me. The pace is alright. Physical strength is kind of maybe you can get away with that centre mid. It's okay. Some would like a bit more than that. Ideally like that to be 80 plus. Balance is a bit lacking. Stamina's outstanding at 96. He's not going to get tired. A bunch of shooting skills, but his finishing sucks. So yeah, those skills are not going to make too much difference, unfortunately. But I mean, they'll make a difference, but his finishing still won't be great. What have they done to him? Give me a nice boost for his acceleration and his physical contact. Apart from that, just a few points here and there. Nothing too exciting, really. I've had a few Conor Gallagher cards, actually. I've had a bunch of Player of the Week cards and highlights. This is about as good as any, so it is a good version of him. I know certainly some of his cards, especially the Player of the Week cards, the passing's not been great, but the passing is good on this one. So as a centre mid, I do favour this one over his Player of the Week cards. Yeah, as an all-rounder in the middle of the park, I think the awareness is the biggest concern for me. You can quite easily get the dexterity up. Defending, not so easy to boost. You're already up to 8, so that's going to be +3 per increase. I think I'd probably just do that. I mean, you could lose some lower body quite easily, but is it worth it? I don't know. I'd be tempted actually to... Well, actually, we've got 4 points from somewhere. I didn't even notice those. Put them straight on aerial, get the physical contact over 80. Yeah, he's looking pretty decent for me, actually. The awareness, both attacking and defensive, is still a bit of a concern for me. I do like to get both of those at least towards the 80 mark. We're not a million miles away. Everything else is looking pretty tidy for a centre mid, apart from the shooting, really. Yeah, I wouldn't do too much more with the build. I mean, it's a fairly even boost. The only one that's gone past 8 is passing. I do think that's worth doing. Yeah, all rounder in the middle of the park looks alright. So like I say, you can't really shoot. And the attacking defensive awareness are a bit of a concern for me. You need to be, you need your player midfielders to be responsive going forward and backwards. So bit of a concern with the awareness and the finishing. But apart from that, pretty solid as a centre mid, box to box, bit of an all rounder. In terms of other positions, we'll auto allocate DMF. See what it says. Yeah, not amazing. Fully boosted defensive awareness 80, and that's up to 14 on defending. So again, you're not going to make him your lone DMF. You're going to need someone else taking a big share of the defensive responsibility. We've lost quite a bit on the ball there. Passing's still good enough for a DMF. Enough physical strength for DMF? Maybe, maybe not. Yeah, I'm not sure I fancy him as a DMF. It depends on your midfield setup. You could do a job for you there, but I think you lose too much from centre mid. I don't think it's worth putting him there. If you moved him the other direction, if you went further forward as an attacking mid, I'll do that one manually. Get that low pass back to 90. And then he needs some attacking awareness. That's not bad as an attacking mid. I mean, again, though, it's like was it with Groß we were looking at? Lots of nice stats for an attacking mid, but he can't shoot to save his life. Can he really make his shooting better? You could sacrifice a bit from his passing. You could take a bit more from his lower body, to be honest, if you wanted to. You could get away with that. You can get his finishing all the way up to 73. Wow. Yeah, still not great. So, yeah, is he going to be a great attacking mid? Not really. I think I would just accept his shooting's not going to be great. And, yeah, just make him a bit better in other areas, really. But, yeah. I know, on the whole, I mean, he's fully proficient there. He could do a job. He's got one touch and through. He's got a few shooting skills. But like I say, the finishing attribute sucks. So, yeah, could do a job attacking mid, but I don't see too many people using him there. SS as well. I mean, again, you can't really get his finishing that good without sacrificing else. So I don't think it's worth using position trainers like Conor Gallagher and SS. Has he ever played there even? Not sure. But yeah, that leaves us with a left mid and right mid. He's already fully proficient left mid, apparently. I know he's played there once or twice for Atletico. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm sure he's played on the right as often as on the left, but apparently he's fully proficient on the left, but he's not even semi-proficient on the right. I don't know what's going on there, but anyways, left mid, you can play him there already. As a wide playmaker cutting inside and playmaking, yeah, maybe. You can do with a bit more pace, but what are you going to sacrifice? Passing on the ball? Don't know if I fancy him as a left mid. Box to box is an interesting playing style as a left mid or right mid. It will be an active playing style there. Gets up and down, drifts inside a bit. It's an interesting one. I like a box to box that wide sometimes, but yeah, I think whatever you do, you try and make him quick enough for a winger, you end up sacrificing somewhere else. Likewise, the finishing. And of course, my phone's ringing because I'm recording a video. That's the way it works. Yeah, I think in some areas can be good as a wide man on the left, but in others you'd end up sacrificing too many points. Right wing, spamming crosses maybe. Same situation. I wouldn't go much lower than that on his lofted pass. I wouldn't want to lose much on the ball there. You're not quite got the speed as a winger. You're not going to have the curl on his crosses. So yes, his crossing, even if you gave him pinpoint crossing, would be all right. Wouldn't be amazing. Is it worth making a right winger for all the position trainers? Probably not. So yeah, a stretch you can make him some kind of attacker mid, some kind of defensive mid, maybe as a wide mid, but I think for the most part, this Conor Gallagher card is very much a centre midfielder. He's an all-rounder. The skills they've added and the way his stats pan out, he's a solid option. I do think it's worth tweaking a few points, shuffling the points around like I did. Yeah, 1 or 2 stats I'd like to be a bit higher, but yeah, all things considered, it's another card where it's not the most exciting one, but for your English League Challenge, could be a decent option for a centre mid as an all-rounder. You can make a very solid, very decent card, but not an amazing one either. So yeah, could be a handy one for some people, certainly. Not the most exciting card though. So there is your winter transfers pack. I think that's an alright pack, to be honest. I wish they'd do more of these packs with like maybe 8 or 11 or whatever, just the coin ones. I know they do the league ones. It's probably one that I need to review, isn't there? I'm a bit behind on all the pack reviews. Is there a new one that I need to do? Is it this one? It's that one, isn't it? Yeah. But yeah, I like these ones. They used to do them more often, so I wish they did them as often as they used to. But yeah, at least we got this one now, winter transfers pack. And there's some decent cards in there. I mean, they're all at least decent. I'm not sure Timber or Gallagher are particularly exciting cards for many people. Groß, good in some ways, maybe not so much in others. Füllkrug, if you like that type for a striker, you like spamming crosses, could be a very effective one. Otherwise, he's not going to suit you at all. And then you got Cancelo, either a very attacking right back or a right winger who's going to be very quick under the ball. You can have a great cross on him. There's a couple of ways you could do Cancelo that could be very, very good for you. To Stegen, good solid goalie option. Lookman, a few ways you can use him. That's a nice Lookman card, one of the better ones you've had. He's a goal poacher as well, might really appeal to some people. And Semenyo, goal scoring winger, pretty handy. So yeah, it's not an amazing pack, but I don't think it's a bad one either. You've certainly got at least a few cards in there, could be pretty handy. One of these packs where if you're quite new to the game, if you threw a few hundred coins at it, you could get some very decent options to beef your squad up. And for a lot of people, there could be at least 1 or 2 in there. Could be nice cards to have. So yeah, I think that's a decent pack. Not an amazing one, but it's a decent one. Some decent options in there. So let me know what you think of that. Be interested to know your thoughts. Thank you for watching as always. Hope you found this useful. I'll be back on Thursday for another live player review and a bit of Fuma, a bit of the usual. And we'll see what else they add to the game on Thursday. So yeah, hope you found this useful. Thank you for watching as always. Much appreciated. Enjoy the rest of your weeks. Take care of yourselves. See you later. Bye.